Now, next piece of news, Grabby Grab is back in the news. I actually saw this last night at 1 a.m. because I was up at 1 a.m. arguing with people on Twitter. Why? Because you get into an argument and you have to just keep tweeting. But I saw this news back then, and I looked at it a little bit more deeper this morning. Looks like the rumors are back, folks. It looks like Grab, this is from Bloomberg, is moving forward with their talks to acquire GoTo. Now, for those that don't know what GoTo is the Indonesian version of Grab. They have about 30 million monthly active users, and they do about $1 billion in revenue. So Bloomberg says, hey, Singapore's Grab is conducting due diligence on GoTo's financials. Company shareholders are evaluating deal structure and valuation. Grab is moving forward with its attempt to take over GoTo. We heard about this rumor for the first time in early January. According to people familiar with the matter, who said the Singaporean ride and delivery firm has begun due diligence on its Indonesian rival. If they're doing due diligence, I think these are not fake rumors. These are not fake rumors. The reason these are not fake rumors is because when you're doing due diligence, it means that you are seriously looking into an acquisition. And the only way that Bloomberg knows about this is because there's people probably in GoTo that are like getting asked questions from Grab about this due diligence. And as a result, they are leaking the news. And so it seems more likely than not, but obviously nothing is still confirmed. Now what's kind of the takeaway here? Grab has $6 billion in cash with a market cap of 17.5 billion after this latest decline that the entire market has seen. Grab fell basically from $5 back to 420, 430. Right now they're up 3%. At one point they were up 7% this morning. 34% of their market cap is cash. So GoTo is their largest competitor in Indonesia, but GoTo, if you look at GoTo stock, is down 70% from their IPO. Why is it down 70% from their IPO? Well, they haven't really been able to meaningfully scale from a profitable perspective because Grab is eating at their margins. Now, Grab can afford to eat at their margins because Grab is Grab and Grab is way bigger than GoTo. But as a result, Grab is also internally eating at their own margins. And this is why their EBITDA growth was not that good in this quarter. And that's why, the street was not really upset. They upgraded the price to $6.50 after Q4, but no one really was that excited about Grab because their growth is good, but then their EBITDA margins are like 1.2%. And you're like, all right, these guys can't make any money. Do they have a moat if they can't make any money, even if they have all these users? Acquiring GoTo would completely change the dynamic, And I think that it would be awesome if they do this. I felt ever since the call when they didn't issue a bigger buyback, again, they have $6 billion in cash. Like, what are you doing with all that cash? At some point, you have to do something with the money. And if they're not buying back their stock, which they got a lot of shares outstanding, it would be great for shareholders if they issue a $1 to $2 billion buyback. If you're not doing that, in my opinion, it was like, all right, you guys are seriously considering buying a competitor and buying a competitor with such magnitude that you need a ton of money to be able to make the acquisition happen. And I think GoTo is going to be that company. This is the second time we've heard from a very credible source in this case, Bloomberg. Last time it was the Singaporean media about these rumors being real and these talks being real. So I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. If it does happen, I think the street's going to be very happy because they're going to be adding $1 billion of revenue. They're going to be adding 30 million users. They're going to more importantly be able to not have to create so many incentives because they're not going to have to incentivize people to be using their product as much because they're going to have all these users that they don't have to compete with when it comes to GoTo's user base. And I think net, it's going to be bullish. So hopefully it ends up playing out. I will keep everyone updated along the way, but my price target is still $10 by 2027. I really think there is a shot. I will admit, though, I could be wrong if we enter in a bear market for the next couple of years, 18 months, if Trump volatility swings us sideways. I mean, at this point, the macro is so uncertain. I don't think any price targets necessarily can be set in stone. But fundamentally, from a valuation perspective, along with their EBITDA growth, the cash on hand, and then potentially this acquisition, yeah, I think there's a shot this thing doubles in 2 years, and hopefully it does. And I have a big bet that it has a chance to do that. So we will stay updated with the Grab story over the long term.